I'm really excited to be speaking with you today. It's tremendously exciting to be part of this industry in this time and this year, where so much change and transformation is being driven from partnering, and that these forces are expected to intensify in the coming years. So that makes me very excited and passionate about the skill and the trade that we practice and the insights that we bring to bear on a day-to-day basis in our professions. So if we look back, there has been a tremendous evolution in the way companies partner with each other. Companies have been always partnering, right? And initially, few decades ago, partnering was essentially around partnering with supply chain. Other people in your supply chain that would bring your products to the end customer, and these would largely be relationships driven with resellers and distributors who serve as the bridge to your customer. And people ended up building tremendous supply chain relationships that helped them grow and expand the market. And then over the last couple of decades, as the solutions became deeper, as the solutions became more proprietary, smart companies started building a walled garden where they would invite selected partners to participate in delivering services, to deliver their own unique expertise to their end customers. As a result, selected partners became really important as companies began to grow around the proprietary solutions and services that they had invested in intellectual property. Expanded the opportunity set for the companies quite a bit. But recently, in the last 10 years or so, we have seen a tremendous explosion in the nature of partnering and the way companies partner with each other. And that has been made possible because of the advent of the public cloud, the ability of companies to integrate with each other through well-published APIs, well-understood stacks that allow more and more companies to build their own expertise and develop custom solutions that serve customers in unique ways, right? And that has resulted in tremendous energy of innovation, of servicing the end customer that has gotten unleashed as companies have started putting together unique solutions that serve the end customer better. And as a result, the value that is delivered to the end customer has just exploded, so much so that a lot of new opportunities, new revenue, new access to customers is these days being driven through ecosystems. And all signals are in the market and announced by analysts who cover this market that this is just the beginning. And we are stepping into the era of ecosystems where partnering will deliver a lot more opportunity, perhaps at the same scale or even bigger than sales alone or marketing alone. Now that is tremendously transformative, and I'm excited to be at this point in time in this industry and in this profession of ours. Now, as the nature of partnering changes, as you and I and all of us can feel around us, we believe at WorkSpan that we are seeing three imperatives play out in the market. And we have been saying these will play out, and it's tremendously satisfying to see these forces become more and more mainstream. So the first thing that we want to acknowledge is that the lines of partnering have blurred. Previously, people would be able to segment their partners into these are resellers, these are service providers, these are my SIs. And people had those sort of unidimensional skills that they developed. But now, as the technology stack has grown deeper and people have built and invested in building multiple skills and specializations as they bring it to the market, those neat categorizations have started disappearing. So partner types and tiers are gone. And in fact, a classic example of this being recognized in the industry is, I believe, Microsoft announced earlier this year that they are going to abolish their types and tiers and switch to a multidimensional partnering world, where they are acknowledging that they have seen this happen and will continue, and this will continue to happen in the majority of their partnerships. And so this is food for thought for other companies in this space to think about, are we still in that old world of supply chain where partnerships were uniquely classified, or is there more opportunity to think about partnering and in fact establishing new partnerships? So these days we are seeing at many of our customers and companies that we engage with, that customers are also becoming your partners. So this is happening more and more as the world becomes more service oriented. Your top customers are buying and acquiring a lot of your services and products, but it's not only for their own consumption, because they are taking those things, building their own solutions around it, and servicing their own end customers through these joint solutions. So if you recognize that is happening, you could lean in to not only service them as vendors, but also partner with them and power more innovative solutions, more service offerings, and a variety of market outreach effort, co-selling efforts that would increase their presence in the market and therefore your presence in the market. And a classic example of this has been ABB and Microsoft. And ABB and Microsoft have been running their partnership on WorkSpan for a couple of years now. And we have observed how ABB was a large customer of Microsoft. But instead of just building solutions for themselves, now ABB is building really innovative solutions around Microsoft Azure and bringing them to their own customers. So these relationships are tremendous opportunities to establish multi-dimensional relationships between your largest customers, and understand that they are also catering to the end customers. And therefore, if you could help them, if they could help you build better innovative solutions, that's a tremendous opportunity unleashed right there. And this is happening all across the board. Nobody is a pure competitor anymore. There's co-opetition happening. People are finding partnerships even in competitors, right? And for the right place, for the right time, for the right offering, customer end value is grown by thinking about strips where people could collaborate and bring innovation. And as these opportunities happen, the second imperative comes into play, that it is not just the partnering team's job to partner. The whole organization has to blend in effectively with your partner so that innovation can be unleashed, so that new market segments could be reached, new sales opportunities can be closed. And that requires tremendous agility and collaboration between partnering teams, to enable sales teams to come together, to enable marketing teams to come together, to enable solution teams to come together, so that architects can create the next wave of innovative solutions that could help capture more segments of the market. And we're seeing this play out starting as early as joint solutions, where we have seen SAP quoting its top solution partners to build more innovative solutions so that they could together go out and sell it on a co-selling manner to the end customers, where they are crafting joint solutions with services companies, so that SAP could take those services offerings to the end customer in targeted offers manner. So this agility and collaboration, where partnering is not just for the partnering teams, but the partnering teams are enabling solution teams, marketing teams, sales teams across company boundaries to come together, is resulting in more effective partnering. These removal of the walls is what is feeding tremendous energy in the explosion that we are witnessing in the world. And of course, this change in behavior where you work across company boundaries cannot happen unless it's CEO-led. We're seeing more and more CEOs lean in understanding that they are going to play in a multi-party ecosystem. So they're partnering with several big companies in their industry, and in that zone, they are increasing their own sphere of influence and their own capability of reaching the customers, so that it's not just their walled gardens; they're reaching across the walled gardens and working. And when CEOs lead, people feel empowered to have more such deeper projects to happen. And we are seeing more and more announcements of chief partnering officers happen, which is a signal that the CEOs believe in this, and they believe that a leadership is needed at the CXO level to steer the company in this direction. So we absolutely believe these three forces will continue to play out, and that is what makes our profession and our industry so appealing over the next 10 years, that this tremendous opportunity will be unleashed. So in this context, our mission has been to provide our customers with the tools and the systems so that they can partner more effectively. So we aspire to be the world's trusted ecosystem network, where our goal is to provide tools and mechanisms where partners can run simple processes over and over again with each other, allowing more people from their teams across the company walls to participate so that they can create value and abundance together. So that partnering is not an ad hoc activity. Partnering is a repeatable exercise with well understood rules, and that machine just keeps humming with more solutions, more campaigns, more leads, and more opportunities that are executed at a high win ratio, so that leads just don't keep getting dropped on the floor. So we believe that this next level of unleashing will require a really systematic mechanism. And in that sense, our mission has always been provide you with the tools so that you could co-innovate with more partners in your ecosystem, so that multiple variations of your offerings can be brought to market with leaders of subsegments. And once these things come to market, your marketing teams could effectively run campaigns with your partners' marketing team, so that generates more leads. Those leads get transferred as referrals to the selling side of the organization, so that co-selling can happen. And of course, once co-selling happens, commissions are earned, referrals that were sourced by your partner get recognized, and therefore money flows back in terms of investments, in terms of commissions, in terms of funded heads, so that this loop can run more and more intensely in the coming years. And that flywheel is a tremendously positive catalyst for growth in today's times. And we believe that this multi-dimensional partnering, where the partnering motions are deeper, they're deeper than just partner managers thinking once in a week. They're deeper because more projects are in flight at any point of time. Those things need to be effectively managed. And we want to give you tools that simplify that management across multiple engagements in your ecosystem, so that you can scale this flywheel. So we keep thinking about interesting innovations and tools to bring to market. And there is one particular innovation that I'm really excited about that we did last year. And we're now seeing positive case studies emerge from our customers who have leaned in and embraced that tool. And that innovation, which we were the first to bring to market, is something that we did. We thought about how to remove the walls between selling organizations, between you and your partner. And we said, what could we do so that co-selling could be managed not just by partner managers, but co-selling could be effectively participated in by the salespeople on the field themselves. And to enable that capability, we went out and built a native Salesforce app that can be installed in your salesperson's environment, in your Salesforce CRM. And that is such a lightweight but well-designed Salesforce app that extends the partnering motions into the salesperson's environment, which is the CRM. And once that is installed in your company's Salesforce, we enable a similar app to be installed at your partners, at any of your partners' CRM. These are well-designed, very, very well-secure sandboxed apps that your partners could also install. And once these are installed, co-selling boundaries disappear. So what can happen now is a salesperson who's working an opportunity can tag their opportunity in their Salesforce CRM with a partner name, whichever partner they prefer or their customer prefers in that pursuit. And once they tag that partner's name, instantly the WorkSpan app will pick up that opportunity and route it through our network and deposit in their partner's CRM. So that Bob, who works in your partner Blue company, would see that as an incoming referral when the next morning they open up our Salesforce account and start going through their opportunities. They'll see a new referral coming in from Ralph at the Red company. And they, with one or two clicks, Bob can accept the opportunity and put in a note on how they want to partner on this particular opportunity, and send and hit submit, and that sends the note right back to Ralph in Ralph's working environment. And that way, Bob and Ralph are instantly connected together without them realizing that all these partnering processes and management has to happen. So we have cut down this connection part, dissolved the wall. These connections used to take several days, a couple of weeks to find the right person at your partnering organization. Now that can happen in several minutes. And this is not just ad hoc, that is happening behind the scenes. Are the partnering teams who are responsible that one or two opportunities just don't become an exception. They are responsible for steering the partnering ship. So they watch all the traffic going back and forth, and they can step in and do the right things to solidify the relationship even more, remind the people in the field to respond back to the referrals, and do all the things that we know in our profession we have to do to keep partnering partnership being steered in the right direction. And that's the role of Roma and Betty. And together they can manage this book of business on WorkSpan and track each of these referrals that are flying between the fields in one particular pace, so that effectively all of these four stakeholders come on the same page. And they come on the same page with very little effort, very little data massaging. The tools take care of doing the hard part, the data mapping and the status updates. But the partnering teams on one side at the red company are working closely with the partnering teams on the right side. And meanwhile, the sales teams on the red company side and the sales team on the blue company side are also free to engage at their own pace, at their own convenience, so that partnering can happen in a much more agile, distributed, and democratic manner. Now, this can unleash tremendous opportunity, and we are actually starting to see that happen at some of our customers, where the pace of co-selling has suddenly increased tremendously. More opportunities are being referred back and forth. The trust is getting deeper, and people are excited about the next phase of co-selling, where instantaneously salespeople can get connected with each other. So these are the kinds of innovations that we thrive in to bring to you, who are ultimately practicing, and it is your goal to unleash the explosion in this market that we all talk about. And we play a role in doing so, because we understand that partnering is unique. In partnering, you have to connect with multiple companies simultaneously. And so we have built our tools with that point in mind, that this is a multi-partner world, that this is a world in which people want to dissolve their walls. And therefore, we have built it like a network as opposed to separate tenants, separate walled gardens. We have built our tools to be a network where you could establish a connection between any other company on our network by just flipping open the switch and agreeing to partner with them. And over the last few years, we have been tremendously blessed to have more and more companies join our network and participate in these deeper motions of co-solutioning, co-marketing, co-selling, and managing incentives with each other, so that their day-to-day efforts have a multiplicative impact. So ultimately, what it shows up as is from behind the scenes, where I look at how our service is growing. It's tremendously satisfying to see the network keep scaling. And in the last couple of years, we have actually seen a jump happen where more companies realize co-selling is important, and they're joining the network and working with the larger scale of partners than we had seen in the first 3 years of our existence. So that it charges us even more towards our mission, that we have got to bring more and more companies together so that they can collaborate with each other. And ultimately, now thousands of companies are working with each other on WorkSpan, which I believe is tremendously exciting. But even more exciting is the kinds of projects that we are now engaged in. And the kind of disruption potential that those projects can bring in various segments of the industry. Our customers are doing amazing things, and therefore it's a pleasure to have many of our customers and observers in the industry, and you who are thinking about whether this is the right tool or not, to join us on this seminar, so we could talk about the trends that are happening, the lessons that we have learned, and together we could chart a path in these coming decade of partnering. Thank you.
Mayank, thank you. That was just a great start to the day. Really appreciate you setting the stage and talking about some of the amazing transformation that's happened over the recent years, and how companies are reacting to it and can prepare for it. Thank you.